Hello, Cancer. Welcome to the Soulmate Experience. I'm going to be doing your reading for your situation. This is Cancer from July 22nd to the 31st, so a little over a week. July 22nd to the 31st. If you want a private reading, check the description box down below. Read the steps, read the information, please, before you send me an email asking me questions to things that I've already put down below. So read the steps and the instructions. If you want a ritual, it's also down below. Follow me on Instant Go, the app called Instant Go. It was available exclusively on Apple, but now it is now on Android as well. So all of those of you that couldn't access Instant Go because it was exclusively on Apple, you can now access it because it is available on Android, and you can download it on your smartphones and your Samsungs and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, now let's get started. This is for Cancer. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that was. Surface mind for Cancer. Loading the screen, guys. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Five of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Five of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Five of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and Five of Wands. Regret, inner conflict, Eight of Cups, the Justice. Someone has finally cut you out, or you've cut someone out, Cancer. Either you've cut someone out or someone has finally cut you out. A judgment call has been made, and it does not go in one person's favor. It's like someone has been doing some deep introspections, and they've made some tough decisions, because we have the Justice and the Judgment and the Eight of Cups, and the other person now is being left to evaluate their feelings and evaluate how they acted. Because, like I always say, if you don't feed someone, don't feed the monster. Don't feed the monster. What do I mean by that? When you're involved in a situation and you're not getting, how can I put it? Sometimes the best thing to do is to let people know what they have by making sure that they don't have access to it. We don't know what we have till it's gone. And I feel like someone has been cut out, and now they are being forced to look at their feelings, and they are being forced to see how they acted. That doesn't mean that they're going to apologize, and it doesn't mean that they're going to step forward, or it doesn't mean a number of things. But what it does mean is that what had to be put on blast was put on blast, so to speak. And whoever else was on the other side of this, feeling the brunt of it, is deciding to disassociate themselves from it. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers and the Death. Yeah. And the Ten of Wands, like, that's exactly what I said. This is literally what I just said. Whoever was on the side of this, that was feeling the blunt of the relationship, is deciding to disassociate themselves from it. They've made the decision to take away the power that the other person had over them. The King of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Star. Aquarian energy, especially the King of Swords. Someone has shifted their eyes. The Hangman, the Fool, stagnation, and freedom. Someone has shifted their eyes. Also, a lesson with the Hangman. Someone has shifted their perspective on themselves. And because they've shifted their perspective on themselves, and they can see their value and they can see their worth now, they are not focused on trying to force another person to see their worth, because they found the wholeness within themselves. So now they don't need the validation or the constant validation from the other person, or they don't need to feel that person around or have them around to make. Yeah, I mean, my cards are. I'm not even having to pull cards. The store, like as I'm talking, the cards are saying exactly what I'm saying. The Six of Pentacles and the Tower. You know, they're reclaiming their power. They're bringing down the foundation, the faulty foundation. They're not sharing anymore, and they're not letting the other person have that access to them anymore, to the point where they can manipulate and play with their feelings or play with them. There's, and this is so important. This is extremely important, especially for those of you that are going through soulmate relationships. This is extremely important. For those of you that are going through soulmate relationships, this is an ascension level. When you learn that it doesn't, you know, how does the saying go? Love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. Do as you do unto others as you would like to be done to you. In other words, in order to love your neighbor, you gotta love yourself. Self-sacrifice is not self-love. Self-sacrifice is martyrdom. Martyrdom is insecurities. Martyrdom is a grandiose perception of self. Martyrdom is a lot of things, but self-sacrifice is not love. You cannot love another person if you don't love yourself, is what those things are trying to say. You do good to other people as you would like them to be done to you, which means that if someone is treating you like shit, you can withhold. Six of Pentacles, you can withhold giving to them. You have the right to withhold giving to them. I'm sorry if that goes against all the twin flame and crystals and candles and everything else that everybody else is preaching out there. But when you're on my channel, you have to deal with what I preach. And what I preach is, if you step on my toes, be ready for what comes for you. Or generally, I will ignore it. I have a 3-strike rule. The first time, it's a mistake. The second time is a pattern. The third time, you're willingly hurting me. I have a 3-strike pattern, and that's really in my life, that's how I function. There's a 3-strike pattern. First time is a mistake, it's forgivable. Second time, there's a pattern forming. Third time, you're going out of your way to hurt me. And by the time we get to the third time, and I've warned you the third time, you don't have a right to say whatever it is you're going to say. It's my time now. It's my power now, and I can beat you down as much as I need to beat you down. I can cut you down as much as I need to cut you down. Of course, not literally, figuratively. I can cut you down as much as I need to cut you down, and I don't regret it. I will go home and I will sleep like a baby. If I degrade you, I don't regret it. When I get to that point and it's a third time, and you've willfully gone out of your way to hurt me, I don't regret it. I don't even feel like this person. I don't feel like this person was that harsh to begin with. Whoever it was that walked away, I don't even feel like they were that harsh. But they came to understand their value as a person. They came to understand what was acceptable and not acceptable. They came to look at the patterns, and they decided to stop investing and putting time and energy into something that left them broken each and every single time. And why should they? Why should they? Put it to rest. Past. The Nine of Pentacles. This is Venus in Virgo. Some of you might be doing a Virgo. The Nine of Wands. Protection. The King of Swords. This is the cutting out. Oh, King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Okay. Then we have the King of Swords. The Queen of Cups. Ooh. And the Moon. Uncertainty, fears, insecurity, shadows. So this person, at one point in time, there was a lot of love between the king and the queen of cups. There was a lot of love between the two. But I know this breakup has already happened. Well, for most of you, it's already happened. For some of you, it's happening now. But someone's unwillingness, when I said earlier that I felt like it might not be have been harsh, I think I'll take it back. It was cold. The King of Swords handles his, especially when he has his sword up, he gives it out, he dishes it out cold. Someone dished it out so cold that the other person is now scared to even approach them. Like they're panicked. They feel like they'll get cussed the heck out if they approach them. These two people are still in love with each other. They are separated by now. But one person, and I feel like the male, because we have the king right here and the queen. So perhaps the male is the one that's even scared to step forward now. Some of you could have do that. Another water sign, we have air sign, probably Aquarius also. But whatever the case, I don't really care. Um, they might be scared of approaching because they know they're gonna get it handed to them. Some of them, they've not yet had the blowout, in the sense that the person that is cutting them out or has cut them out has not yet given it to them, but they're scared of stepping forward and trying to communicate with them because they're scared that there is going to be a blowout and they're going to get sliced down to bits. And honestly, I feel like it's validated. This is why you don't abuse your power over people. When someone gives you their love and they give you their care and they give you their heart, you don't abuse your power. But a lot of people, and I was just talking about this in one of the other readings I did yesterday, and I said, for some reason, a lot of, especially with the women, now men don't get upset, but let's be honest with ourselves here. A lot of times with women, they get judged based on how much of a, like, the perception of a good woman is about how much bullshit you can take. I just saw a video yesterday about this, and it's something I've been saying myself for a very long time. The perception, or this ideology we have of a good woman, is more of an enduring woman. How much bullshit can she take from me? How much can I beat her down? How much can I abuse her trust? How much can I abuse her heart? How much can I abuse, and the virtuous woman is the one that gets to bear all this shit. After you've been run through, run down, turned around, tossed about, then it's like, oh, I can give you a ring now because you've proven yourself worthy. The fuck? But that's how a lot of men judge women, and that's how a lot of women judge themselves. A lot of your grandmothers will tell you, oh yeah, marriage is hard, but you gotta stick to it no matter what, thick or thin, and you know, and I value, I'm African, trust me, I value older people's, their advice. I value it greatly. But we also have to understand the context in which they're saying it. Times were a lot different then. Women didn't have property, women didn't have a lot of rights. Times were a lot different then, when they had to put up with a lot of this bullshit, and it was considered normal and was considered acceptable. I'm a person that believes in polyamorous relationships. I can't practice them, but if you choose to be polyamorous, be polyamorous. There's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of people in this world that are polyamorous and it works for them. But the problem is, don't promise a person one thing and then flip it around and be another thing. Don't promise to be faithful to someone and then flip it around, and that, all of this is abuse of power, is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of times, especially we men, we have that tendency to abuse our power. And you women, some of you dumb women, allow this dumb men to make you feel like your worth is based on how they perceive you and how much bullshit they can throw on you, and how little they can belittle you, how much they can slice your ego up and embarrass you. And when you've seen that shit through thick and thin, then you become a worthy woman, and you go on along and you pass that stupidness to more people. And you wonder why suicide rates are so high, divorce rates are so high, and all this other mess. Single motherhood is so high. We gotta stop, even as a community and as a people, we gotta stop this perception of I'm gonna put you through because, and I'm saying all this because I know this is exactly what the reading is saying. Someone abused their power over the other person. It's like they were trying to see how far they can push it. And now they've been cut out. So they don't have any choice but to go and look at themselves. And I know they're doing it because their surface mind, which is how they're actively thinking, is a Five of Cups. So they are the Five of Cups. And in this deck, the person has the two cups in their hand. And I always say when I see the two cups in the hand, that to me signifies that they are noticing, they are paying attention. Because generally in the Five of Cups, the person has the two cups behind them and they're focused on the three cups. But when you have the two cups in your hand and you're looking at the two cups right before you, then to me that signifies acknowledgement. And I know that they are because it's in their surface mind, which is how they're actively thinking. Present energy, the Knight of Cups, an apology, the World, and the Moon, the Star, healing, and the Page of Wands. Someone is waiting for an apology. The Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords. Someone is definitely waiting for an apology. They're expecting an apology. It might not come though because this person is still stuck in their head. Eight of Swords. In order for them to be unstuck from their head, they would have to grow. And this was the first card that was at the top, the World. Expansion. But when you think the world revolves around your asshole, how do you grow? When you think it's your right to abuse people and abuse your power over people, how do you grow? All the remorse in the world does not make a thing right. Like I always tell people, same thing with the falling in love. If you're in love, those are your feelings. That's internal, in love. If you're not loving towards me, you can be in love with me all you want to be. But if you're not loving towards me, then you're the only one that's getting the excitement from the love because I'm not feeling the love. You're feeling the love. If you're remorseful towards me and you sit in your little corner and you boo hoo hoo by yourself, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. No, the fuck I'm not actually. But I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. I'm just gonna say that to be polite. But you're the one that's feeling that way. I still haven't gotten my apology. So make the move to apologize. A grown ass man will make the move to apologize. A grown ass woman will make the move to apologize. Apologize. And that's what is needing to happen with the Knight of Cups. And this is the only way I feel this person will have any sort of respect for you, or the Nine of Swords, the Magician, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, that's a manipulator. That's the abuse of power. The King of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. That's the abuse of power. That's it right there. So the person gets stuck with their agony, boo hoo hoo by themselves. But do you know what? And this is literally what I was just talking about. The Four of Pentacles withholding, the King of Cups withholding. And I'm sorry to say, but I feel like Cancer, this reading, it could be vice versa for the cross watcher, but I feel like Cancer, this reading is for you. You're the one that's in regret. For the first thing that is from the very first card showing up in the surface mind, I already felt like it was for you. And all the cards of restriction are water. It could be vice versa, but I feel like for most of you Cancers, it is for you. Don't kill the messenger. Anyways, if you want a private reading, check the description box down below. If you want a ritual, check the description box down below. Please read the steps and follow them. Follow me on Instant Go as well. Like, share, subscribe. And for those of you that I couldn't get to with the rituals or the private readings, because I know some of you are supposed to do your rituals or your private readings, or at least you approached me to do rituals and private readings. I refunded a few people's money because I was too booked. Keep in mind, it's Mercury retrograde. I was super duper booked. So I refunded some of your money. All the ones, because I set a date that I was not going to accept I set a number that I was not going to accept beyond that number. And so everybody that came after that that sent the money, I immediately sent the money back, and I sent them an email explaining. Some of them said they were going to wait for it. Some of them, I guess, went to other people, and that's fine. I always try to reference people who you can work with and who I like and what other reader will be available and that kind of thing. So that I trust, to give you an honest reading, not necessarily a good reading, but an honest reading. But uh, but I am officially open now, so send your request in, make your payments. If you wait too long, then you might find me unavailable yet again. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Stay blessed, and I wish you the best. Bye bye.